are live now. Well, thank you for joining me once again, Matt, for New Comic Day Aftermath. I was going to do a nuclear image of a nuclear bomb going off and everything, but I realized that's just a little too grim.
God, man, that's so dramatic.
Well, considering how crazy things seem to get these days, with though actually, I will say things have calmed down a bit, which is nice to a degree. Still sucks that like somebody like Elizabeth Brightweiser is still getting harassed, which is I, I why she doesn't really she never really tweeted that much. When she
Maybe you
did,
can clue me in on all this because I had saw, I guess, in passing something about it, but I didn't dig very
well,
much into that.
she's been working on a book called Sarah, which is a Garth Ennis war story with Steve Epting doing the artwork, and she's doing the colors, and it's a beautiful looking book. And then pretty much I've not ever been disappointed by a Garth Ennis comic that's been like a real kind of like a quote unquote real life war story, like just standard war comics, not the nothing like with aliens or dinosaurs. They're just war. That's it. And yeah, apparently people are still harassing her, not knowing exactly who. Uh, some people that might think that she's maybe like some kind of right wing
They
goddess or
think
something. I don't know.
they think she is the comic skate's queen.
I guess that's what
Holy
makes no
cow!
sense to me. It's like think about this.
They're masterminds. They're all masterminds.
What makes no sense to me is like what my interactions with her. A wonderful person, and very just appreciative and polite and just courteous and like every good word you can think of. But I guess some people wanted to. It's like they want to destroy something. Maybe they're jealous of her. I mean,
They want to drag someone into the street fight, even though
exactly.
they are not really
They,
a part of it.
they want to. They want to. Just they want that person to be as ugly on the inside as they are. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I know, and Mitch. I've never had a bad word with Mitch Brightweiser,
I've
but
never seen anything negative from him.
no, I mean, okay, well, I mean, I know he's
Usually it's
busy.
mainly about the books he's working on.
Exactly, because I know he's working on the book and everything, Red Rooster, and probably doesn't have time to get in, like mostly keep his head down too. I don't know, but
He's
this
not running a YouTube channel on the side or
well,
anything
he
like
is,
that.
but he isn't like constantly. I saw him in Peter Smeddy's chat the other night. He showed up the Tuesday stream that Peter did. He showed up for like a little bit. So did Captain Cummings, which was
Oh,
weird.
there we
I
go.
didn't know he was back, but I guess he's. I don't know. I was like, what in the world? What are these two doing here?
Party's
But
getting started, huh?
I guess. But yeah, it was. Like I'm not married, but if somebody was messing with I mean, it'd be frustrating because it's like it's social media. What can you really do? But if you don't use social media, you be a
Yell at
certain
your
level of creative.
monitor till it goes away.
Yeah. So it pretty much, or just ignore it. It's
No,
the Tyler the
yell at the
Creator or
monitor.
whatever. Chance the Rapper, whatever one. There ain't no such thing as cyberbullying. Close your eyes.
You close your eyes, it ain't real, son. Yeah.
Yeah. But back to the reason we're here because it's new comic day aftermath. So that means it's the day after you or days depending on when we can do this. But we picked up some. I think we picked up at least the same book, if not two of the same book.
Actually,
Hawkman number
three of the
7.
same books, but yeah.
Oh, oh, you didn't read Hawkman number 5?
I was looking around and I couldn't find it, so I just went ahead and pulled the trigger, dude.
Okay, cool. So the most recent one, which was yesterday when Hawkman number 7 came out. But Hawkman's we'll talk about But you want to do spoilers or no? I mean, I'm fine with it, no
I'm
matter
good.
what.
I'm good. I'm sorry, internet, but here it comes. The gate's coming
All
open.
right. Well, we find out, and if this Hawkman number 7, same team as previously, Vendetti and
You keep these
Brian
guys
Hitch.
together. That's what they
Dude,
do.
this is the best book DC. Honestly, this is the best book in print right now. Not just artwork, but the characters, a story. Like this is
Consistency.
it. Not only consistency, but quality, high quality. This is what's so like. I used to harp on Brian Hitch for overdoing his artwork, Like I mean, like I'm me, like I'm like
I
not
feel like
getting
I'm
tweeting at
appreciating
him.
more if he is overdoing it now because I
Well, no, no,
feel
it's
like
like
there's layers to it now.
well, I know he's not overdoing it. It seems like he's streamlined his art style since like say Ultimates. It's like where he can work more fluidly, like where he can do like these big. He uses a double page splash appropriately, especially with issue 7 where battling in the microverse, battling the giant Lego men with their little Lego hands,
Yeah,
and
those things were massive. Yeah,
yeah, it was
the
great.
scale of that fight alone. Yeah,
Exactly, that's what's so good. Like he actually captures that scale. And it didn't look like just you know, it didn't look flat. I mean, but he's that damn good of an artist. But this comic issue 7, titled Origin, it reveals something that I had a feeling was going to happen. I was like, when they first introduced the whole idea of Deathbringers, these giant aliens are going to come destroy Earth and other places and everything, and Hawkman's got to stop. It's like he's involved with it somehow. He's one of these Deathbringers, and then this issue reveals he's one of the Deathbringers. He's the Deathbringer general. He's basically going around to Earth, Krypton, Rand, grabbing people up and
he's the
sacrificing them
angel of
with.
death. Yeah,
He's
he's the
he,
Silver Surfer.
yeah, he is. There's like two Silver Surfers equivalent, or you can also look at it, kind of Hellboy ish, the kind of the elder gods and all that stuff. But sacrificing lives and that woman that's
I thought
haunted.
if it
Like,
was more of a Judge Dredd, Rico type partnership, and now Rico's coming back. You
you know
know,
what? I could see that. I could see a little bit of that. Oh, Cain and Abel too. Get a little bit of the Cain and Abel thing. Serving a higher power or whatever. But it was really well executed. Like it built upon the Hawkman mythos. This guy had him and Adim were murdering people, for across the galaxy for these the elder
tribute.
gods, Deathringers, and it's just really well done. Where the fact that you find out that the reason he reincarnates is because he's trying to save as many lives as he has taken, and he's taken a lot of lives.
So he's going to be
So
doing this a long time. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But once he's caught
Will
up,
they enter? Yeah. When will you think they will introduce? I guess the final number here soon.
possibly, but it might be like a
I feel like that's
13th
the
Doctor.
gimmick we're getting to, right?
I think so. But it's gonna be like a 13th Doctor situation. There's gonna be some kind of way they're gonna write themselves out of it.
He's going to come back to life again.
Yeah, I really enjoyed issue 6, which I hadn't read previously because I've been working on art and other projects and stuff. And I said I'll just wait till issue 7 comes out and just go ahead and read them back to back. And that's where the microverse battle where the starship that was buried a long time ago in the microverse with a nth metal drive and the atom and
All
then
this nth metal just laying around. How convenient.
well kind of sort of laying around,
I know.
strategically placed.
There's a little bit of work to it.
But I really don't want the art team. I don't want Hitch to go away. I want Hitch to stay on there as long as possible. I
No,
think
that
this
book
might be
should
the
stay the
longest.
way. Yeah.
I think it's the longest single artist has been on a book DC in quite a while.
Don't
Especially, I
fuck
mean,
this up.
dude, he's the highest caliber and quality artist they got working on a monthly book now. There's no one else.
I'm surprised they're not
Honestly,
going to jerk him
Brian
off of there and
Hitch.
put him on Superman.
Oh dear God! Don't say that, please. Don't say that. They like, oh dear sweet
Coming
Jesus,
this
like,
January.
they would though. They would pull that shit. That's how twisted sadistic these people are. Like, we'll bring Jonathan back.
Oh,
Bringing him
Hawkman's
back
doing
is
well. Let's take the artist off that.
exactly. I mean, I can understand. Like, I mean, Brian Hitch. Even people forget. Like, even back in the day, you'd have sometimes people get sick, people get behind. And you have or they need to switch out and like take a break because like if you work on a book, let's say what 20 issues. That's a pretty good run. I don't think
Yeah,
that's Hitch, but
do
because
we know how many issues this run's going to be, or is
I
this?
don't know. I kind of part of me doesn't want to look. I ignorance is bliss. It'd be kind of fun.
Maybe it will just last forever.
Well, we can only hope. But so,
It
what'd
won't.
you think of it, dude?
I liked it. The art was consistent as usual. I enjoy the big splash pages, as of course, and I like where it's going. I feel
Well,
like we're getting deeper into this onion, and it's starting to pay off.
I thought it paid off from issue one
Well,
onwards,
yeah, definitely, yeah.
I'm really interested to see the Hawkman of Krypton,
And yeah,
uh,
that's where we're headed, obviously. Yeah.
which is going to be interesting. Is it going to be a kind of Nightwing Firebird kind of situation?
My idea
Uh,
is what is exactly out there that he's looking for. I mean, my understanding, Krypton's there's nothing there, right?
well, he's already jumped back in time. Remember, he battled his
So he's just gonna
previous.
do it again. Oh, I guess now that he has a spaceship,
Yeah, it's going to be kind of
well, he's got his DeLorean. He can do whatever he wants.
exactly. Well, he time traveled out the DeLorean, but he had that the pendant, the Hawk pendant that like normally
The
one of his
artifacts, yeah.
crest. Yeah, so it's now it's like a living nth metal ship and everything. I really like the idea of what they're doing where it's I know everybody's like, Justice League is big, Grant is too big, too grand and everything. Batman stuff's a little too personal. This feels just right, like the little bits and pieces like that. The whole segments where, just slaughtering all the innocents and like the script, yeah, the way they described the carrion birds. Oh, they fed on so much death and carnage that their stomachs burst from their gluttony. Like that, right? Just imagining that. Like, that's how much slaughter and how many people he killed for these,
It's giving you an idea
wonderful.
of that. It's painting the picture
Oh,
along
perfectly,
with
yeah.
looking at it.
It's very rare comic these days. I wish more people read it. Wish it had better praise, but I don't know. It's worth the
I don't
price.
see
It's
how
well
it
worth the
would be
price.
getting bad reviews. You got to be kidding me.
Those that would, but that's the thing. There's people out there. I guess they're sick and tired of Hawkman. I don't know. This is the
Oh,
best
too
Hawkman.
fucking bad.
Exactly. It's the best Hawkman that they ever put out. But that's my personal opinion, of course. I'm saying it, so I'm not speaking for someone else. I hate when I have to do that. It's like,
You're
in
speaking
my
for everybody. It's
opinion.
okay.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's like no, it's a fucking great comic, and more people should read the damn thing. But whatever. Uh, but uh, yeah. So you getting caught up on it was a nice, smooth transition. I take it.
Yeah, well, I mean, because last week I bought Uncanny and some I guess Batman.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that
wait,
happened.
wasted money right there. You should have just burned the money. It'd have been
I just
at
keep
least.
doing it. I just keep coming back to get punched in the face.
Oh god, I look at it like what Marvel's doing. Like apparently, Conan when because they're doing
I haven't gone near that. I've been afraid to go anywhere near
well, it
that.
hasn't come out yet, but the first issue is going to be one of those. It's going to be $5, and then every issue is like $4 after that.
Holy cow! Here we go, dude.
Yeah, they remember
How
when they
many
do first
pages?
issues and like certain stuff they keep about the same price. They
Yeah,
keep it,
you roll into it.
special double sized issue, like in this promotional. Like when they remember when they used to do like 25-cent issues. Like Daredevil and Fantastic Four was like 10 cents or something
Didn't
like
yeah?
that.
Didn't Batman had the 10-cent special or whatever?
Yep.
Right.
Uh,
That's when
Bruce
he
Wayne
was framed for
Fugitive.
murder. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Bruce Wayne Fugitive. Yeah, good stuff. Good. That was good stuff. But I don't know. This is now like you can't
Can't
even they can't even do that first issue is going to sell no matter what. Why do you got to be so extra greedy with it? All the extra cover, whatever. But I'm actually looking forward to more Hawkman, of course. But
I hope it keeps going. I really don't want to look it up either, man.
I don't want to look in previews and see, new artists. I mean, they're because they always got to hype it,
I
you
usually
know.
stay away from all that stuff because I know
But I mean, if there's certain artists if they were to tag out, like I mean, you probably won't get somebody at a
I'm
at a
tagging out if
Hitch level.
someone tags out.
But well, it depends on who the person tags in. If it's like
He tags
Patrick,
in Jim Lee.
no, fuck that. He'd only do like half an issue and bounce. I'm
No,
looking at
don't say that, dude.
no, fuck
No.
Jim Lee. No, Jim Lee
No,
can't do
God,
shit anymore.
no.
But I'd say like if there's certain artists like Trevor Harrison. I don't know if you know the artist Trevor. He did the Ultimate Secret Six Spider-Man Ultimate Secret Six or Sinister Six. Sorry, that he's the artist who did that. Uh, H A I R S I N E. I believe his last name is Trevor Harrison. Harsign or whatever. Uh, I'd say him, Doug Mankey, Patrick Gleason, uh, you know, artists like that. If they were to come in and stick with it, be consistent, it'd sting not have Brian Hitch around, but hopefully he'd come back around like a couple arcs later. So who
But
knows?
if he
Because I
never
think
comes back, you just wished him away.
see
You just found replacements. They're listening in, dude. They're like, oh,
issue
thanks,
seven. The thing
Larry.
is, issue 7. If he
Superman needs an
announced,
artist. No.
well, I think they already got Ivan Reyes, but that's Ivan Reyes would have been a good Hawkman choice.
Not going anywhere near a Superman book for a while.
I don't think I'm gonna be doing.
I keep going in there and it's like someone brings the hammer down on my hand.
I will say this: I may go around when the Frank Miller Superman book comes out with John Romita Jr. I might give that a shot because it might be an utter freak show because it should be Frank Miller by himself. What the reason Dark Knight 3 Master Race sucked is because you have Brian Azzarello around, and it's like trying to reel in. It's like herding cats. You can't really get the cats to do everything you want, but you can kind of herd them a bit. Just let Frank Miller be Frank Miller. Don't try to hinder him. Don't try to improve it. Just let it be crazy, like the Holy Terror, which he had to go in like halfway through the book and like redraw and like actually erase the bat ears.
None of this is gonna work.
Change Batman to the quote unquote fixer. It's a visually interesting book. Story wise, it's pretty blatant, self-explanatory. It was supposed to be Holy Terror Batman, and it's about Muslim extremists blowing up, attacking Gotham, and then Batman going on a killing spree, stopping them. Nail bombs blowing up. There was nail bombs, and Batman and Catwoman get caught in shrapnel, and that was how the story was supposed to go. But then they had to change it to the Fixer, and I forgot the ferret or whatever her name is, the fox. I don't know. But
this definitely sounds like an upgrade to the story, man.
Well, he picks up. He just goes into a mosque and just starts blowing people away. I'm like, dear God, it was so blunt. It was so blunt, and I kind of appreciated it for it because it was just
it's I don't know, in your face, unapologetic or whatever.
Exactly. There's and it was like kind of this. It felt very 80s. It was like when they had a Rambo to Beirut shirts and stuff like that.
Oh boy, like yeah. That's not good, technically.
It's not good, but it's one of those things. It's like you don't get that kind of jingoistic bluntness that you
not
do
anymore, or you get checked.
Politically correctness and everything. And what's weird is
you will be checked.
Yeah, Legendary Comics, which is a division of Legendary Pictures, put the comic out. It was like widescreen, everything like the 300 hardcover they put out about that size. It's all black and white interiors though, and I enjoy Frank Miller's work, even his later series work. Is it beautiful? Kinda. It's not perfect. Not bad.
Kinda.
I'm gonna lie and say like, yes, oh my God, it's the most beautiful thing ever.
You're lining your bathroom walls with it. Is that what you're saying?
Nah, it's too glossy for that.
Too glossy. It's too much shine.
It's too much shine. Like a little bit of light coming through the window and it look like a disco ball. But yeah, it's a freak show. No, there is some color. I think there is some color, some like pinks. It's kind of like a Sin City a little bit. But you said you had something when we talked earlier. Man. You had something you want to surprise me with. I mean, my heart can only handle so much, man.
I realize that you probably keep up with the CW shows every week. I know you're a big fan of Supergirl.
Oh, sweet Jesus! Are we going to talk about what I think we're going to talk about?
I figured we could talk about the crossover event that just happened. That just wrapped up last night.
Piece of fucking shit. You mean that piece of fuck? Okay. Listen to this. Okay, I hadn't watched the fucking. I bounced out of Flash with season 2 when I found out season 3 is going to have another fucking speedster as a villain. Okay, I was like, all right.
I want a speedster every season. That's just my opinion.
That's so fucking stupid. At that point, like you could. Oh God, it's bad writing, really bad writing. But I had no interest in watching any kind of Flash stuff. I didn't watch the one where they're the Earth X. The Nazis
No,
took
you didn't
over.
get in. You didn't get into that one
I
either.
didn't watch
Dang.
the invasion one with the not what are they called? Dominators. I didn't watch the
The
Dominator one.
Dementors. No.
No, that's Harry Potter, my friend. Which had funny enough, you had the dude. You had Malfoy in Flash for a while.
He
So
was a
yeah,
good
there's.
character. They should have brought him back. I was disappointed.
Uh, but yes, I saw the promo image that they put out, like the comic book cover for Elseworlds, and the fact
Yep.
they're using the old Elseworlds logo,
I don't
which
know why they were. I don't know why they're using. I mean, I enjoy
I enjoyed
seeing
seeing
that,
it.
but I don't. They didn't. I don't know. There wasn't enough of that to warrant that. But I guess I could see where they're like, "Hey, no one's using this. Kind of catchy."
Yeah, no one's using this definitely,
So, well,
and
I
it's
don't.
just
I
things.
mean, DC. I don't think DC's doing any
Like,
Elseworld stories anymore, are they?
no, they're doing their bullshit Black Label, where it's
Oh
it's fucking
yeah,
dead in the water.
bad dig. So yeah, there's that.
Well, they retroactively put White Knight as a Black Label book. They should just call it the Elseworlds book. I mean, it's the Elseworlds title. What if Joker was the hero of the story? Okay,
I think
there
more
you go.
people are familiar with the Elseworlds
Yeah, and
run.
and actually that would, and even though, like I said in the past, I read it, hated the story, threw it in the trash, tore it up, threw it in the trash.
You read
But
it again?
no,
No.
no, I'm saying it's like I'm glad Sean Gore Murphy got to tell his story. I'm glad it was a writer artist doing it. Hey, good for people that they enjoyed it. But even I could recognize that it had the pedigree for Elseworlds title. Whereas this fucking 3-part, it was like
3 night events.
it was like, hey, everything is going well, and then it just turns into utter shit by the end.
It
So
did.
I'm watching it, and I'll get the good out of the way. It was good seeing John Wesley ship in the original '90s Flash costume. The
That
dude
was
looked like he
awesome.
was in good shape. I mean, I was like, either this it's probably computer trickery a little bit, but he got to look like he's in good shape.
Whatever
And
it
then the
was, it
costume,
worked.
exactly. The guy playing the monitor, the look, everything like that right
He
there.
looked like a monitor,
That look,
and
that's
I
straight out of the
believed it.
comic. And I could believe the arrogance and everything. Like that's the fucking monitor right there. I was like, damn, that's great. The well, I enjoyed the inner like the kind of the Freaky Friday kind of situation
The
a
back
bit.
and forth between Barry and
You know,
Oliver.
you know, yeah, Barry and Oliver. The little dynamic between those two and everything. Well, let's see what else I
The
enjoyed.
Riggs Murtaugh relationship.
Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
I enjoyed the fact I I I was on a kick. I was on a kick to look up some stuff. Smallville. The use of the Smallville theme and this town from Smallville and the fucking barn and the farm and all that
I'm
shit.
gonna tell you right now, Larry. When I saw that, and then I saw who they had there, I was like, "That's not yours."
What do you mean?
That guy and that Lois that was there, that didn't belong
I
to them. Where's
I
Tom Welly at? That's his
Look,
farm.
no. Tom Welling is a guy who said, "I'm not going to wear the fucking suit." That's why you only see him in the tiny little where he opens it up in that last episode of Smallville, and it's all CGI afterwards. They had to do like a CGI face replacement bullshit. He
Well,
refused. He was like, "I'm not going to," because it's like, oh, for whatever reason. So he didn't embrace that. That dude,
I think he might, man.
well, at this point, he's got no fucking career.
You know where this is leading.
Where?
Well, because they already announced the next
Oh yeah,
event.
we'll get to
We'll
that. We'll
get to
get to that.
that. We'll get to
But
that.
but that dude, the guy, the Tyler Harrison, whatever his last name is, he looks like the '80s Superboy, the guy.
Yeah, that guy's not doing it for me as Superman. That didn't. Yeah,
I will say that actress is Lois. It looks like you could combine every single Lois actress into one person. She looked like
no, no.
I saw her as like Margot Kidder, Terry Hatcher, and that
They're
Erica
all a lot
Durance.
better than. They're all a lot better than her, man.
Well, I was enjoying the interaction until they pulled that fucking, oh, you get paid 21 cents more an hour.
There was that, yeah, and
It's
I
turned into
agree.
that fucking myth. It's that what's more real? Bigfoot. Bigfoot's more real than that fucking 21 cents on the you pay 79 cents on the
I
dollar.
I
It's
more so didn't like that part because I know that in the comic book, Lois is the higher tier journalist above Clark.
it should be getting paid more.
So
Exactly.
I didn't understand why would they downgrade her and then use it to poke a
And she's
joke or
senior.
whatever. It's like Lois is she's the main event in the comic book. We
For
know
being
this.
a reporter, supposedly investigative reporter, she doesn't really do much investigating, does she?
Multiple imaginary awards. I mean, come on now.
And but we'll get to imaginary bullshit. I, so we get through this bullshit with, you got Arrow, you got Arrow, Flash, Arrow, and then Supergirl, and the Flash stuff. You're dealing with, your the little team, and eventually it turns out the reason these red skies and lightning is because of uh, Barry from the 90s. Barry from Earth 90 is trying to break through, and it just can't until he finally breaks through. He's on the screen for what, 30 fucking seconds total.
Yeah, that sucked. I was hoping there was gonna be like more to him coming through the time barrier and all that, or the other
And
Earth
fighting
he was
alongside.
on. We didn't
Imagine
get shit.
seeing Barry and Barry run together. How fucking awesome would that be? Like to
We
see,
didn't get to see it.
and they played a little bit of the '90s theme, which I liked, and then for 30 for less than 30 seconds of fucking screen time,
Yeah, there
he runs
was.
to the monitor and then he gets teleported away.
He gets poofed away. He's gone. Yeah, I was disappointed. I
That
wanted
I
more
was like,
from that.
okay,
I felt like they
because
built it up to be more.
they built it. They fucking, I think, like, they didn't really hype it, but people that recognize at that point, just cut the fucker out. At that point, just get him. Don't even have him. He just tells them, "Oh, he's been testing other worlds." That's all his fucking purpose is. You could have had somebody else do that. You could have fucking monitors say that. You could say, oh, "I've been testing worlds to see who could survive an upcoming crisis," and that fucking Batwoman.
Oh, they didn't
I
do
don't.
it for you.
I saw a meme the other day. It was what do women with tattoos and abandoned buildings have? They both are covered in graffiti. They're both easy to enter. they're both, that kind of thing. I'm not a fan of women with tattoos. Also, not a fan of women with necks thicker than mine. And this Grant Gustin in a wig would be more feminine than that. Was it Ruby
Whew.
Rose or whatever her name is? You know that I
You're
don't
not a
like.
fan of Ruby Rose?
I To say despise or hate. I'd say even hate. Despise, hate, disgusting. Um, it's like this. Why am I even here? I'm too good for like that kind of shit. That's the attitude she fucking had. But get the fuck out of here. It was just, oh god.
She's
That
Bruce
was
Wayne's cousin. I kind of feel like she's just squatting in that building.
it's like she will turn into a fucking rave club, dropping Molly and all that shit. Oh god, it was, dude. I like Batwoman a bit for when it was the J.H. Williams the third, that run when they first kind of introduced her after
Yeah, I know
during
you're talking about
the
him.
52, and I was like, or the 52 weekly series. I mean, that was good. I enjoyed that, and
What
then they
about now?
overdid it. No, no, hell no.
Was this
But
a book you're picking up on the regular?
no, never, 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 never. You can look through my pool
I'm gonna call
thing.
your local comic shop and
They're gonna be like, he's
get
never
him to
done
tell
that.
me what has Larry been buying here.
I
Let me
mean,
go
but
ahead and put this in his box if he
don't
hasn't
you do
already
that?
told you.
Don't you do that? Don't you do it?
I'll find
But
your
no,
pull box. There'll be some
no,
good stuff
seriously.
in there.
I mean, everybody's like, and there's these people praising. Oh my god, she's gonna be. She's a cold-hearted bitch, and not in a good like. It's not this. There's nothing like cool about her. Nothing badass. There's nothing like I
She
don't
didn't
get the
do any
feel.
real fighting.
No, she didn't. It was like this. Understand. You're not martial artists. You don't know combat. Maybe there are so many
She used
characters,
the
so much
karate
stuff.
kick to cure the fear gas. That right there, Batman can't even do that. So
That was so dumb. It was
that was
so.
a new one.
I
You think maybe she had the antidote in her boots?
in the heels of her boots or something. Yeah,
I'm just trying to make sense of this because
I,
that's for
there's
me.
no sense to make.
That's what it looked like. She just kind of swooped in, did
I,
this little twirl with the legs, and
I
then
half
they were
realized
better.
the little nods and winks got really fucking old quick. Hey, it's Carlo, comma B. Hey, it's Nigma, comma E. Okay, we get
Who are
it.
those people? I've never heard of them.
Most people realize that Basil Carlo was the first Clayface, not Matt Hagen. But that's story for another time. But it was
Oh, look
just
at
so.
you tilting the fedora.
Oh, well, I just I just read the old comics, the old Golden Age stuff. Good stuff. It was like really creepy, more horror than like straight up crime. It was a crime horror. The old Golden Age Batman. There's a lot of just like disturbing stuff. People getting hung from gyrocopters and murders and stabbing and shooting and a Joker fights Batman and Batman kicks the shit out of the Joker and Joker stabs himself with his own blade and kills himself, but turns out he's not dead because that was like supposed to be the Joker death story, but of course they couldn't kill him off because he's just too popular. So we were not spared the horrors of the Joker, but there was nothing about the Batwoman stuff, the whole Gotham stuff that none of it interested me. Nothing Arkham Asylum stuff. Well, the one thing from the sorry, take it back. One thing from the Gotham stuff is when they show up in Gotham and the gang of like tactical vests show up like straight out of Arkham City.
I didn't. Yeah, that. Oh, yeah, all that right there is. I
Only
didn't
thing I can
quite
think of is
understand. I was like, are they in the Nolan verse?
well, they tap X 3 times, and then when they throw a punch, you press Y to counter their attack. For your Xbox players. But the cops show up, like 4 or 5 cop cars show up within like what 10 seconds
And that
of a
guy was
fight breaking
super
out.
excited that Oliver Queen was there. Yeah,
Yeah, that was just
Oliver Queen.
get on the ground, man. Like that was just so stupid. Like what? But we the stupidest part, I don't know if you'll agree, was the Supergirl episode. That
Oh
was
boy.
God Almighty. That was
Oh, what a
so
way to
okay.
finish. What a
It's
way
like
to
how do you,
finish.
okay? Well, we've written ourselves into a corner. How do we? Well, we'll just have Martian Manhunter Brainiac 5 show up, and hey, the Martian.
I was trying to figure out who that guy, hell, the albino guy with the 3 dots on his head was at
Yeah,
first.
I guess they didn't want to do him in his green skin. But yeah, that's Brainiac 5. And he has the Legion of Superheroes flight ring on his hand. So
So,
yeah,
okay, that's what Brainiac. I was wondering if that was Brainy or not. I wasn't
yeah,
sure because of obviously how he looks.
yeah. It's just like if you hadn't watched like Supergirl, and that actress playing Supergirl, she is like when they say milk toast, like she is the definition of milk toast.
I mean, I feel like she's not bad. I just feel like what they're giving her to work with is bad.
Well, she's too
She's
plain
got
looking.
kind of crazy eyes a little
Well,
bit.
that too. They're she's got kind of like it's that
I'm
psycho
sorry.
ex girlfriend eyes.
Don't tell
But
her I said she's got crazy eyes.
somebody, don't worry.
Someone's getting
I
on
won't
this right now.
I won't tweet at that Melissa Benoist. Hey, at Melissa Benoist. Slacker at Slacker Power. Matt Land says you have crazy eyes. Are you really crazy, or is that just an acting technique? Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, and then I vanish. Yeah. So there's that. I'm not. Supergirl's just not the show for me. That's all it is there at the end. I mean, I've tried watching it, and it's just. I know that it's not for me, and I'm okay with that.
This is a kind of controversial question. Do you think that they race swapped Jimmy Olsen just so they could, like give themselves some kind of immunity?
Oh
it's
man,
because if you
that's
say
a hardcore
anything,
question there.
I
want to hope they
yes.
didn't do that.
I say yes because there's nothing about that Jimmy Olsen that is like Jimmy Olsen from the comics. You could say, well, he grew in between. He's no longer geeky and everything. No, Jimmy Olsen is geeky. Jimmy Olsen is a nerd. Jimmy Olsen is a
Jimmy
klutz.
Olsen is not eggs from Truck and True Blood. Yeah, I get it, dude.
Jimmy Olsen is not, is not a 6'3", 300-pound.
He should have been
Jack
like John
Blackman.
Henry Irons or something.
Exactly. If they'd have said he was John Henry Irons, hell, they could have said any number of people. They could have said he was, I don't know. You know what?
Jon Stewart. They could stop flirting around with that and actually do it.
You could say John Stewart. You could say John Henry Irons. You could even say what's the dude's name? The guy Metallo. You could say he eventually becomes Metallo or something. Like
James
whatever.
Corbin.
Yeah, Corbin. Exactly. Exactly. They had to go and say, "No, my name ain't Jimmy. My name's James." Like this. What are they doing? Like if they got what was it, like some kind of Donald Glover kind of guy. You know what? I still wouldn't be happy about it because when I hear Jimmy Olsen, I think of pale red haired ginger who's a dweeb. He's always getting himself into trouble. That's the kind of character I think of. Not this Jimmy Olsen's a guy that he would be like he gets a taxi ride and he's going to pay the guy and almost ends up in a fight with the taxi driver because he's that much of a klutz and that much of a dweeb. Like that, I mean, that's Jimmy Olsen to me, and that's how I've always seen him. But this, I just to say I dislike the way they've done these characters, and then the whole Lois thing, where okay,
I just don't like that lady, dude. She was on another show, and it kind of wore me thin for a couple of years.
What was she on?
She was on Grimm. I liked Grimm. Grimm was a cool show, but she.
Oh, so you have bad blood with her from Grimm?
She is not a character I care too much for. I'm sure she's a great individual. I just don't care for the characters she plays.
I get that.
And I saw a lot of Juliet in the Lois she was putting on that show last night, and I don't know.
Well, the one thing about it was, I don't know if did you watch Arrow from the beginning, or did you catch up, or do you never watched it?
I'm not caught up with the last like two years, I think. 3
Okay,
years.
well so you were watching it when you remember? Yeah,
I read spoilers all the time though.
Well, you remember like season was it 2 or 3, the one where they had Professor Ivo? He had kidnapped Sarah Lance. On the on this ship, the Amazo.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like teasing the whole Amazo thing, and Amazo finally shows up and he gets like defeated really quick. That was I mean, it was an interesting battle, but like this is Amazo is not somebody you mess around with. And not just get defeated quick, but twice in 3 episodes. In one little event, he gets defeated twice.
I made the comment twice. I said that Amazo is not so easily dispatched.
But
there's a little more to it.
But they had to have something.
And they brought the Kryptonians to it, which I thought was a bad move. That alone, that should have made that fight go even longer.
Yeah, exactly. And also, well, actually, no. Take it back, because Amazo, they state nanomachine supercomputer version of Mirakuru, which is Mirakuru. All Mirakuru does enhances strength and agility and all that stuff. Mirakuru is their version of Miracolo, which is the Hour Man's pill that he would pop and get powers. That's their version of it. Amazo should just have like super strength and vulnerability and all that kind of stuff. But they give him the ability to adapt metahuman powers. Excuse me, metahuman. Clark and Kara are alien. They're Kryptonian.
They're not from around here.
And also, why the fuck are
they're not
their
even
laser vision?
They're not even technically from that universe.
Exactly, they're not even from that universe, and they're also they're Kryptonian. They're Kryptonian by blood, so they're not metahuman. That's the whole metahuman. It's like this idea is metahuman can mean it. Bullshit. Just they're trying to say superhuman, but
I want the shows. I want Flash and one of these shows to kind of move away from where they try to base metahumans. Be it dark matter or the reactor.
Well, they tried doing that back in the Flash.
Embrace the weirdness. Yeah, I know. I remember when they were briefly kind of wading into it, and then they just stopped.
With Shade from Starman comics. That the guy who controls shadows.
And Caitlin now. Caitlin, she is.
Oh yeah, because of Daughter of the Ice City. Yeah. But yeah, exactly like that. They're doing it so slow. It's like what Marvel did with the Asgardians, like where they said, "Oh no, they're space aliens. They're not they're not gods. They're aliens," because they don't want to offend any religious people. But the worst part of this whole I don't know. No, the John Wesley wasting John Wesley's ship, that was probably the worst. The Psycho Pirate stuff, which if you've never read Crisis on Infinite Earths, it sets up nothing. It does nothing for you. The whole worlds will live and worlds will die. And then coming fall 2019, Crisis on Infinite Earths, which that's going to be utter bullshit. That's going to, but we'll get to that in a second.
I'm going to be waiting for that. I was going to say about the Psycho Pirate, I was excited to see that aspect kind of be introduced. I just felt like you pushed him out there with that crappy mask. I feel like they wouldn't allow him, let him keep his mask in prison.
Yeah,
I could be missing something, but
no, you wouldn't. You like if they'd introduced him with the mask outside and then gets busted and sent to Arkham. That would make more sense. That would like maybe he's.
I know he was running around with with the mask and all that shit.
Oh, that's after he breaks out.
Yeah,
yeah, that's after he breaks out. It's like, oh, I just put the mask on, all that stuff. But before we get to the whole the possibility of the Christ Infinite Earths, the TV version. Because I was like, like I said, I actually enjoyed even with the bullshit pandering to, whatever, women get paid less than men, that myth. It is, because that's just bullshit. It's been disproven, but, people carry that. It's like, you add everything up. Well,
I mean, I don't really want to get into it, though, Larry, but I will say that there are some situations where that does hold true. But, I mean, I get what you're saying.
But that's the thing. It's like, it is, it's like a blanket statement. It's like, oh, women get paid less than men on average. And the reason is men are working more dangerous jobs, which are much more, they're much more, they make more money. And a lot of times there's, the men are making profit if they don't, like over the road truck drivers, roughneck workers, whether, that kind of thing, like willing to, the riskier jobs men are willing to take. Men have usually, we call it trade jobs, masonry, electricity, all that kind of stuff. Whatever, welding. Women don't usually go into that line of work, and that line of work pays well. But whatever. That's when I worked security. Everybody except the only person I got paid more than the rest of the guards was a supervisor, and she was a woman. And it was me and like one other guy and a bunch of women. So I got paid the same amount as the other women. So that's why I know it's this whole idea is like when they say in general women get paid less than men, bullshit. But whatever. But the whole because I was enjoying the Lois and Clark stuff, I was like, okay, this is kind of I was enjoying it at the time, not so much anymore. But when they're like, well, while we're on Argo City, I got knocked up, but we're going to go back there for at least 9 months because pregnancy bullshit. And then Clark does the whole, you're stronger than me and you're always better than me, and the world doesn't need a Superman when it has a Supergirl, all that bullshit. And then Lois does that.
That got you hooked to come back, right?
Oh yeah, sure. And that bullshit
statistic. The DVR now.
Oh god, that bullshit statistic that Harvard did a study that Lois says Harvard did a study that women do better under pressure than men, and this it's like she's cutting Clark's balls off with kryptonite scissors. This is like this whole praising of Kara. It's like this. Oh my god, you're the greatest thing ever. She did not grow up amongst humans. She wasn't raised on the farm. She didn't, know what it's like to live amongst people and know the real power and responsibility, kind of Spider-Man like, but still, the whole idea of, using your powers responsibly. She didn't have 30 plus years to soak in solar radiation. She's not as strong as Clark. Nowhere near it. And this idea.
I thought they said that she was stronger than Clark because she sat down there. Maybe I'm thinking of different Supergirls here.
See, when they pull that shit, I'm like, no, because you still have all those years. You can write it wherever you want, but I call bullshit because what gives them the power is the solar radiation.
Eventually we'll retcon your brain, Larry. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
We're gonna retcon your brain. We'll fix you up,
worry.
son. We'll fix you up. You'll believe everything.
No, I won't. No, I won't. Part of me will still remember. But yeah, the whole I'm just imagining if they were willing to fuck over John Wesley Shipp's going to be older next year than he was this year. So the idea of that's how they treated the 90s Flash. Just imagine like what kind of shitty, truncated Crisis on Infinite Earths they're going to do, where you're going to have what the Swamp Thing from the DC original series. You're going to have what the Doom Patrol.
I don't think any of them are going to cross over into this, dude.
You never know, man. They would if they do it, it'd be like kind of quick flashes with Legion superheroes are going to show up. What are you going to have like Tom Welling Superman?
Now, I will tell you, Larry, I do think that there's a potential for that to happen. I mean, we need an elderly Superman so we could have Tom Welling suit up while
He'll
the
never
other Superman apparently is they've written himself out of the show for the next 9 months.
He'll never do it though. I think
go to Argo City. That's a big deal, right? Argo City. Did I miss something? What's
a
Argo
Supergirl
City?
Thing. It's a Supergirl thing, apparently. It's like
Argo City.
I'm not mistaken. That's a city from the Supergirl movie.
Is it near Gotham?
No. You know the Supergirl movie? You know the one where she leaves to get that, the magic MacGuffin.
You talking about the old school movie?
Yeah, the Helen Slater one, the one with Faye Dunaway as the villain. I think that was Argo City, so they're pulling that kind of shit. So at this point, it doesn't matter.
So Argo City's still around.
I guess.
Is it full of Kryptonians?
Yeah, apparently so. So that's the whole thing.
Oh boy, that's always trouble.
Yeah, a bunch of Kryptonians and a bunch of old school Kryptonians before. Like these are not chill, cool Kryptonians. These are old school Kryptonians. But disappointing to the extreme. I should have just stopped watching, but I was like, maybe it'll get better. Maybe Don Wesley Shipp will show back up in part 3. Nope, he doesn't.
No, that was it, dude. That sucked.
Yeah,
that thoroughly sucked.
It's unfortunate, but it is what
maybe
it is.
Maybe they felt like he was going to steal the show from from that whole deal.
Well, I'll get it this way. Could be worse.
They didn't even explain why Barry and Green Arrow, they were standing there wearing the biker costumes, like they had like a couple's costume. They never really got into that.
Oh well, that wanted poster, the Trigger twins, or whatever, because Dr. Destiny, who has the Book of Destiny, that was
Dr. Waste
Destiny of the Endless. Destiny of the Endless's book. He rewrote reality, so he made them the villains. So for some reason, called them the Trigger twins, which is so dumb. I don't know.
Why all of a sudden, you know what? There is a set of twins in the Batman books from a long time ago who were cowboy themed.
I don't remember that.
It was during the Nightfall saga. Yeah, they were robbing a bank and they didn't realize they were brothers.
Well, I don't remember it. It's probably just I remember a lot from the Nightfall.
Hey, it really happened, man.
Okay, I believe you. I believe you. Unless
you're telling everyone I'm lying.
I'm not saying you're lying.
I'm just kidding.
Maybe you're misremembering it. But yeah. But with that, anything else? Any other?
I don't know. I mean that was my big topic. I figured you were gonna fight me on it and know if you actually watched it, and you did.
I did.
You did, and you didn't let me down.
I really wish I hadn't.
You watched it. You'll probably watch it again. It's okay. Don't.
I don't.
Don't be afraid of that.
I don't think so, Tim.
He's like, I kind of queued up right here, man. Gonna watch a little Supergirl. Got a bath bomb going. You'll be good, man.
Would light some candles. Light some candles. Slip my wrists. Somebody save me.
Say what you will about Supergirl. They've done, I guess, a fan service as far as bringing in old actors from all the older shows.
They just went to every convention in the area. It's like, hey, you want work?
I like that. What's wrong with that, man? They need work.
I felt so. That just reminds me, like a couple months back, they had a convention in Fayetteville, home of the 82nd Airborne and Army Rangers and Delta Force and
some serious motherfuckers. Yeah.
Julianne Moore was born in Fayetteville.
Serious motherfucker, right there. Yeah.
Yeah, badass.
Certified badass.
Hey, she defies the sun every time she goes out. Red hair, pale skin, doesn't burn up. But they had a convention in Fayetteville, and the headliner of the convention was Butch Patrick. Do you know who that is?
Why does that name sound familiar?
Eddie Munster from the Munsters, the little werewolf boy.
Holy cow.
And the other headliner, or the other people, that was the headliner. And then they had like Tony Todd and Tom Savini and some like voice actors. Vic Mignola.
This sounds like an all-star cast, dude.
It was
how much sad. How much were they paying you to get?
I couldn't bring myself to go because I was like, I'll go.
You walked around the outside and kind of kicked it around, and you're like, I'm gonna go to Target.
It was like a little over an hour away. No, I couldn't even just go there. I was like, it feels weird when they have like celebrities. Like if it's comic creators, I have no problem. But when it's like celebrities or like former actors or voice actors and stuff like that, it just it feels weird. It feels really weird. It's like you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be on some kind of film or TV set. You're not supposed to be charging $20 for a signature or $50 for a photo. I just
gotta make a living, kid.
I know.
Gotta make a living.
I know that's the whole like Lou Ferrigno thing. He goes around and just does that. And
goes around flexing, making dollar bills, son.
I'm just thinking, like, I was like, I wondered, like, like sometimes they have conventions. It's like, this guy was in Smallville playing, henchman number 3, like that kind of thing.
That's the guy I want to meet. I want to get that guy's stories right there.
Hey, did Did
Tom
Allison
Welling
Mack
ever put the suit on?
No, better. Did Allison Mack ever try to recruit you into her sex cult?
Oh no.
I always knew that's the thing. I always knew she was up to something. I was like, there's something about her, and then like, oh yeah.
I figured she was Lois.
Well, that's the whole thing. They wanted a Lois character because she's like Lois's cousin.
I figured they were going to make her Lois. For a long time, I figured they were going to... Something was going to happen to the real Lois, and then she was going to be like, you know what, I'll become the new Lois. And then she leaves and comes back, and, she's got like the makeover. And then, her and Tom, they finally, they stop procrastinating, and then it finally happens. And then he's like, well, I guess you can be Lois.
Your logic is so bizarre.
You don't like that? I guess you can be Lois. It's okay. And then Lex comes back, and then they retcon out that whole, him becoming a cyborg, whatever that was.
Oh,
in the trailer
God,
thing. That didn't happen. It turned out he was actually living in the basement of that, the fucking castle.
That's the second time they did that. They did that in Lois and Clark: New Adventures of Superman when they made
I know.
Lex
I remember they did that. It was right around the time that crap was going down in the comic book. I remember that.
Yeah, it was. Yeesh, that was rough.
Living in the test tube, destroying Metropolis. What was that? Superman? What was it? Action Comics 700? Am I wrong?
You might be right.
That's when Lex Luthor hit the button. That's when all the missiles and all that shit were going off. And Lex's body was, he was deteriorating in the, in the metal tube.
I was just thinking, how Chloe became, in your logic, I think I know how Chloe became Lois Lane after.
Tell me why. Explain it to me, because I've been dealing with it.
After Clark busts a nut, he's like, "I dubbed thee Lois Lane."
That's God. That's not good, man. I'm trying to keep it clean.
The worst part when it's Batman.
We can't sell this story now. Ruined it. He ruined it. We can't sell it.
Ruined it for you.
I was gonna call the CW and bring this to them, and then they're gonna come back and be like, "Well, they were talking about it here."
You need more. Oh God! It just when did when's the last time you watched Legends of Tomorrow?
I have not watched that show since like the 3rd episode of the 1st season.
Okay, well, I caught the episode, like the one after Flash, that one, and because it's like it had Matt Ryan who plays John Constantine, and I was like, okay, cool, I like that dude. It's turned into fucking Supernatural with a time travel.
I like Supernatural.
Yeah, but it's like, but think of like Supernatural if like they had zero clue and it was 100% more shitty than anything, the worst episode of Supernatural. And it was, oh yeah, and it's really fucking gay, which, I mean, normally wouldn't be a problem, but
I
they,
saw a promo where they were all stuffed animals. I thought that was
well,
kind of cool.
that was like maybe a minute in the episode, but they took an arc, which in, because in comics, John Constantine was bisexual. In the younger days, he'd go both ways, and then he settled down to heterosexuality later in life. Well, early when he was young, like he was, I think, 20, 21, like in 19, 20, 21, he was still doing his black magic thing, like, kind of recklessly. And he damned a girl to hell. He damned her soul. Well, in this show, they, instead of making it a girl, they made it his gay black lover, and damns his soul, and he's doing time travel to undo it, and he causes like the universe to start unwinding and everything because he was a focal point or some bullshit like that. And that's how the whole the puppet thing and the kind of the knockoff Magnum PI or knockoff Charlie's Angels kind of thing. And the only thing I enjoyed about the episode, other than Matt Ryan himself, was the fact that they got Tom Wilson on the show. Apparently, I guess he's been around for a while. Biff from Back to the Future.
The guy's a great actor.
Yeah, I mean, I was like,
a lot of pedigree.
Should do something more. Have something more to do with him. But it was just, it felt very like shoehorned. Like this whole, we're being ultra progressive, which it may, like, I'm like, normally that shit don't bother me, but it's like, the fuck have you done? This is like, you
Did it
switch
not
shit
feel
around.
organic? Did it feel forced?
It felt very forced. Like if it was a girl, if it was the girl, like for like more off the comic, it's like, well, the girl guy, there's no difference. I don't see a difference. It's like, we know what you're fucking doing. You know, oh God, it's, I'm glad I stopped watching these fucking shows. Dear sweet Jesus. I
I feel
understand
like
why
a lot
people,
of that stuff would have a greater impact if it was just organic.
yeah,
If it was just there, like it was always there.
but yeah,
I
that's people
don't
for you.
I don't understand why that's such a hard approach. I feel like that should be your best approach.
Yeah, make the characters actually have character. Make the stories organic. Make them feel natural. Make yes, it's fiction. You can make it up as you go. It's completely utter bullshit, but you can make it feel like it's actually happening. Oh well, but I guess with that, I guess we'll wrap it up. So those watching replay, whatever, if you enjoyed Hawkman, if you enjoyed this kind of discussion, let us know. You can find us on Twitter. Information's in the description. Hawkman ain't reading it. Check it
Is
out.
it is it time to do the 1-800 keep me around like Jason
oh,
Todd?
no, no, I forgot to call you the comic book expert.
Oh, that's right. I forget about that sometimes, Larry. You're right.
Forget
But I'm
you're
a comic
so
book expert. I forgot about that.
No, the comic book expert. Oh God,
I'm a
these
comic. Yep.
people. That fucking I'm not. I don't like Kevin Smith. I really don't.
I
That
like him in the
whole
capacity as an actor. I enjoy those movies, but as the Funko Pop spokesman, I'm good.
No, it's comic.
But I'm excited. I'm excited he lost all that weight. I think that's cool. That's great. Taking care of yourself, He does some good on his own on the side. So I'm not throwing shade
by any means. I'm a big old fat dude. But
you
guess
can
what?
do it, Larry.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When I flew out, first time ever getting on a plane, I took a budget flight. I'm talking bare fuck. It was like sitting on buckets, to fly out to, when I flew out to Denver.
You were experiencing flight for the first time, right there.
It was like $100 plane ticket. I was like, well, the thing might fall apart midair. Like, there's a movie called
Major League. No,
no. It has Jeff Bridges. It has Benicio del Toro. It has John Delancey in it. Fearless. It's a movie called Fearless. It's about a guy who survives a plane crash. And so after that, like before the plane crash, she had like allergies and like food allergies that would cause anaphylactic shock. But after the plane crash, he doesn't have food allergies no more. It's like it's like psychosomatic kind of thing, and
now he's new. He's a new guy.
He's reborn basically, but then eventually he kind of settles back down. Like he's like pushing himself to the limits. Like I survived that plane crash, I could survive anything kind of deal.
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's an interesting movie. Like, oh god, Benicio del Toro plays a father whose child died in the plane crash, and he's trying to milk the airline company for as much money as possible for his dead child.
Restitution.
Oh, yeah, it's fucked up. It's really a fucked up movie. But yeah, so I flew out there, and I'm thinking before I got on the plane, I was like, oh shit, how wide are the seats? Because I'm like, if it's budget flight, they're going to charge me for 2 fucking seats because I'm so fat or something. I had room to spare in the fucking budget seat, not sitting in first class, sitting in coach, and then find out Kevin Smith was so fucking fat they had to charge him for 2 fucking seats. And I said, I'm thinner than Kevin Smith. Fuck you, fatty. And
holy shit, dude!
It made me feel good. It made me feel really good.
I was trying to be nice. You just
fuck him. You know what? Fuck him and his bullshit. This is the same asshole.
I'm still hoping to get a couple Funko Pops, man. You know what I mean?
Fuck that. Fuck that hunk of plastic. I could do a 3D. If I had a 3D printer, I could make my own fucking Funkos. But that piece of shit, because it hits, a fucking comic book. This is the same piece of shit who put in the fucking lexicon inkers or tracers. So like lumping in all inkers, as tracers. And not to mention he is the everybody's, oh my god, Guardian Devil is so good. You mean just the guy who ripped off fucking Frank Miller? It's like, oh yeah, I read Born Again too, dickhead. And then that whole bullshit with the Black Cat Spider-Man book, the one that was like delayed for like multiple years.
Whatever happened to that?
I guess eventually came out. Well, who gives a fuck?
It did.
It was like, I guess.
Holy shit.
I remember reading the first issue, and then I was like, I didn't like it, and then it turns out like the book got extremely delayed.
I completely forgot about that, man.
Yeah, see, this is
I think in my mind, I thought that was just like a one-time deal, and it was over with.
Not to mention the Batman pissing himself. So like trying to like with year
Batman
one when Batman
doesn't pee himself.
Well, yeah, when Batman shows up, blows the fucking hole, breaching charge, blows the hole in the wall, tells the crime families, you like in a year, you're like basically, in a year you're done. I'm going to end you. Which is like he could have kicked their asses then and there. He could have broke some spines at that point.
Talking about Batman Year One, that's like
that's a seminal comic book right there. That is the spine of pretty much every No Batman Year One, no Batman Year One, no Batman Begins, no Arkham games, no. Like a lot of things like are seminal like that. It's no.
One day we will get the proper Batman movie that's based off Year One.
Well, we did. It was the Batman Year One animated film.
I mean, live action. I will say that animated movie's legit, but
they should just—that's the thing. They should just copy it like verbatim, like the animated film did. Just go ahead and like, there's nothing wrong with it. Just go ahead and copy that. Like the whole.
Yeah, I would do that, but I would set it in the 80s.
Make it a period film. Yeah.
Definitely.
Honestly, I'd say even
movie.
Actually, I'd set it maybe in the late 70s. Like that would make more sense considering like Gordon was in Vietnam.
Batman's age, I guess. Yeah, and you put it right there at the end of the 70s. That's going up into the 80s. Yeah,
like 78, 79.
They kind of dirty time right in there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sleazy. Like he gets fucking stabbed by hookers. He's like, I'm gonna kick some ass. He gets fucking beat up. How great is that?
Kick some ass.
It was great. Oh, such a Year One, and that whole sequence with the firebombing when they're trying to get Batman is based off a real thing. The fucking Philadelphia Police Department firebombed. There was the Move Coalition. It was a group of tenement houses run by supposedly black militants, and they were not letting kids go to school. They were like doing like homeschooling. Keeping them out of. It's kind of like it's basically the black version of Waco in a way. They they sent uh, social services. The social services were kept away. Law enforcement, I think, like by people with firearms, or at least threats of physical violence, or like get out of here or else. And then law enforcement was called, and then that's when everything kind of escalated to the degree of it was like 1984, 85. So at the time when like Frank Miller just like ripped from the headlines, kind of in a way. So it was, you reality is stranger than fiction. But yeah, Batman Year One. That's what Batman Begins should have been, not the whole water purifier bullshit. Like that was fucking stupid. People are 70% water. That would make people burst. It wouldn't just make manholes. If it makes a manhole blow, it'll make a person explode too. Turn
I
into
just want to know. I just want to be. I just want to be in the room whenever they read the story, and then I want to see why it is they reject it. That's all I want to see. I just want to see at what point do they feel like they need to do something that's not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would they think Raish and the water purifying bit and all that other shit was better than just doing a street level organic Batman movie
a crime
about
story.
And you could be like set in Batman's first night out. You don't even have to go the full length of the race. You just, how about show Batman's first night out, and you can actually dig deep into that.
You open the movie. First off, you open the movie with Bruce Wayne flying into Gotham. Like he's returning from abroad, and then while he's on the plane, you're maybe he's asleep, and you're seeing flashes of like when he was training with Kurigi, in Korea. Kurigi, he's the martial arts guy.
I know you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, but training him, and so you see like the sequences, maybe it's like maybe 2 minutes of footage, maybe not even that much, like a minute of footage to show like he was being like showing getting his ass kicked at first, and then showing him being able to fight back more and being able to, master the arts that he's being taught. And then he lands and he's got this whole persona like, yes, I'm back in this dreadful burg, that kind of thing. Like the kind of the affluent, prickish Bruce Wayne. And then that's when he gets back down. He gets down to business. He's like, okay, I'm going to start fighting crime. And then that's when he gets like the first night out in the disguise, gets stabbed, gets fucked up real bad. Ends up, he's like, I'm not going to bother calling Alfred, until I can, until I have a purpose, until I have a direction to go in. And that's when the bat flies through the window. And that's where he knows, and he calls Alfred and gets stitched up. Alfred's like, what the fuck?
Ringing the bell.
Yeah, exactly.
Ring the bell.
and then we get the Batman, and like he's just kicking the shit. And you have the whole, you focus on Gordon too. Like this is a guy. He's a new father. Fucking cheats on his wife with Sarah Essen. Then like you can introduce to his his niece. His like daughter, Barbara shows up. You have her show up. This is like set her up, for eventually being Batgirl, of course. And you show like the you could build upon that world, and that's where you go from. Not this water purifier, that bullshit. Like there was bits where that movie could have been interesting, but they had to it's that goddamn David Goyer. He just came. But I don't know. But I think that's it. We should wrap this up. This has been kind of crazy. Going going a little above and a little longer.
I didn't mean to keep you going there, man. I'm sorry. I just
no. It's fine. It's fine, man. It's fine. These things happen. But yeah, that was interesting. So hope y'all enjoyed. I enjoyed talking with Matt as always. So Matt, thank you for joining me. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule.
Oh yeah.
But until next time, folks, she'll check you later. So check yourself before you wreck yourself, or Ra's al Ghul turns you into a fear-induced bum in the streets and the narrows of Gotham, aka
he's dehydrated.
Chicago, dehydrated. He's gonna burst you like a balloon. But don't tell David Goyer that. What the hell am I saying? I'm just gonna end it here. Next time, folks. Bye.